Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, the 21st of November. We are fast approaching Thanksgiving, a holiday that we are supposed to be giving thanks for those who, Now, if I were to go by history, it's supposed to be to give thanks for those who first arrived, the first Anglos, or the second Anglos, or the third Anglos. Depends on how you want to look at it, because, in my brain, the first were not really Anglo-Saxons. They were the Norsemen, Leif Erikson, who got blown off course. The second one would be, according to history, Christopher Columbus, who discovered the New World, but actually he discovered the Caribbean, or the Pilgrims who left England to escape religious persecution. Persecution by the Catholic Church. Yes, I'm poking fun at the Catholics because, a lot of things that have happened in history on a negative side was from the Catholic Church. Now, I'm pretty sure they've done a lot of positive, but I don't know. But anyhow, I don't give thanks for any of those. What I give thanks for is the freedom that hardcore American people, like my father, who basically was in the military and basically fought for the freedoms that we take for granted. Yes, we take them for granted. That's what I'll give thanks for on Thanksgiving. But under our current situation, because of COVID, Thanksgiving is probably just going to be Jerry, Mom, and myself. I don't think my Aunt Sue's coming. If she does, I have to find out now. I have to find out tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, by Monday, Tuesday. Because the guest room bed is a kind of a disaster right now, because we're in the middle of so many different projects that the craft room bed has become a bit of a temporary storage or gathering location for some of the things that we have to decide what to do. And most of the things that we have in here, except for maybe one or two items, more like half a dozen items, are various storage bins and whatnot that somehow we've collected over the years in hopes of using for one project or another. In fact, I saw one or two of them in there that I might end up using in here. I don't know. But I work today. I don't have to be there until 11:30 a.m., so I'm trying to make this short. I got on here this morning for two different reasons. Well, actually three, now that I'm thinking about it. Three different reasons. To address two of them I'm addressing from the website, from the YouTube page itself. One of them, I'm sorry I didn't write down my notes. I do just know I know what they asked or said. One of them asked me to enlighten them on the similarities of Old Norse paganism and, she said Christianity. You can't really compare Christianity to any of the pagan groups because there's a vast difference. But you can compare them to Catholicism because of the similarities. And I think I said this once in a different blog. The similarities to Norse pagan, I'm just going to say Norse pagan because that's where most of my knowledge base is right now. And Catholicism is simple. Catholicism, they set it up when the Roman Catholic Church started out way back in Roman days, back shortly after the death of Christ. I don't remember the dates. I don't have that information. I don't have it written down. But basically, what the similarity is the factor that when the Romans wanted to basically keep their old religion, which was a pagan religion, so I guess I am comparing it to a different pagan group. The old Roman religion, which was praying to the various deities. I don't know the Roman gods, so I'm sorry. And the new idealism of Christianity that was causing a lot of problems within the Roman Empire. Now, what they did was they set it up in such a way where, okay, they recognized God the Father, they recognized Jesus. They didn't quite understand the idea of the Holy Ghost. So, in order to basically keep the Roman Empire from totally collapsing, they set it up where the Pope, was supposed to be the representation of God on earth, or Jesus, while God the Father was supposed to be their higher deity. Was that Zeus? No, was Zeus Roman or Greek? Like I said, I don't know their deities. Well, in the Norse paganism, the Allfather, Odin, or Othin, as it's supposed to be pronounced, was supposed to be the God, while Thor was supposed to be his son, or one of his sons. And then all the other deities were like the Roman Catholic Church basically set it up where all the saints were the other deities within their religion, and then the other people were like the offsprings of the different gods, demigods, or whatever you want to call it. I think that's right. I just know that the Pope was supposed to be the representation of God on earth. Norse pagans don't have a earthly representation. They just had the names of the different gods and what they were gods of. So that's kind of the similarity of it's also the similarity of the pagan worship system, as well as how the Catholic Church kind of began. Other than that, I can't really do a comparison. How I can call myself a pagan and a Christian? Well, I don't. I know the pagan religion. I know the Norse pagan religion. Do I follow it? No. I just know about it. One of the biggest things I am a proponent of is knowledge. Knowledge is true power. How you use your knowledge really depends on your personality. The other thing I wanted to address real quick before I go into the third one, because the third one might cause some problems. I just read this morning. I'm not going to say the person's name. I've already dealt with the comment and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure this person is not only a new viewer who has not seen all my videos, but I think she's an old viewer that when I was going through my phase of trying to weed out those I didn't want on my channel because of they were causing too much problems, and I was still a negative person. And I noticed that she had a number of people who agreed with her. Well, that's fine and dandy. Everybody can agree with her, as far as I'm concerned. You don't know me, so don't sit there and tell me I talk out of my butt, because you don't know where I get my information. You don't know how I speak or what I speak. And maybe your problem isn't the fact that you think I talk out of my butt, but you think that I'm not using proper knowledge, or maybe you think I talk out of my butt because of the fact that you, as an individual person, as well as your 15 followers, don't fully understand me, or don't want to be enlightened, or you're basically wearing a pair of blinders and don't want to see anything but your narrow view of the world. That's all I can say about you. But now we get into the third area. And the third area is an area that might be a little touchy, because, well, I don't see how it would be touchy. It's not my personal view. It's something I've been reading on various news reports and various sources. Donald Trump. And I'm going to say it with pride. Mr. Ex-President, get your affairs in order. Prepare yourself for hell on earth because of your own doings. But you're done. The people have voted, and you're out. This whole trying to use your lawyers and your status to attempt to force various states that you claim as yours, that you won, to recount because of voter fraud, when those states have basically done the recounts and said, no, there's no fraud, there's no miscounts, there's nothing wrong that you can legally change. You're out. People have voted you out. Please get your affairs in order and with dignity leave the office at your appointed time, January 20th. Now, I've also read that when this happens, and this is probably why he's fighting to try to stay in, or claims that he's not going to leave, which after January 20th, legally, and by various different rules and regulations set up by the American people, the Secret Service and the military can haul your tail end out of the White House. And yeah, I understand you're afraid that once you leave the White House, you're going to get slapped with all kinds of legal charges and whatnot for tax evasion and tax fraud and, various other things. It's going to land you in prison. So dye your hair yellow, dye your face yellow, orange, whatever color it is that you're over falsifying your tan with, and put on that yellow jumpsuit, because that's probably what's going to end up happening. If it does, well, you bring it on yourself. If it doesn't, it's either A, you made an agreement with the U.S. government, and you'll no longer be an American citizen, because then you won't. That's the only way you're not going to have to deal with your taxes, is denounce your American citizenship and become, I don't know what country is going to take you, but become a citizen of whatever country it takes you. Because I've already heard various people speaking up that everything you've been against, every country is for. Every country that I've heard about. Canada, Ireland, Scotland, Australia. Yeah. But all joking aside, American people have spoken. He's out. No matter how many people say he's still in, he's out. Again, this is not about who's president, who's not president. This is about respect. He has not respected this country. He's not respected his seat, his office. The whole time that he should have been trying to win over the American people, who's out playing golf. Now, I've already heard what Biden wants to do as soon as he gets in office, and one of the first things he wants to nip in the bud is this corona thing. Everybody's afraid of shutdowns. I'm not. I've seen what the rest of the world was like, when the corona started hitting. Most of Europe shut down, and I've already explained my idea of shutdown. Biden wants to do the same thing that most European countries did. Shut down travel. Shut down all non-essential things. And here's what's essential. Gas stations, grocery stores, hospitals, police department, the military, our infrastructure, which is basically our power, our communication, our first responders, and the military. And anything that is necessary, like food, grocery stores and whatnot. In fact, I read a report about I can't remember what country it was or who it was, but there was a country that basically they even shut down grocery stores, except for essentials. And I just kind of went, how do you shut down a grocery store and only keep essentials in the grocery store? I am pretty sure what they meant by essentials was like food, medicine, toiletries, not home decor, not electronic devices, things like that. Essentials. The essentials for life is simple. Clothing your body, which society would say it's essential, but natural essentials, clothing, is only essential to a certain extent. Yeah, you need clothing to cover up your private parts, and you need clothing to keep yourself from getting too cold in the wintertime. But essentials are basically food, water, shelter. Those are essentials: food, water, and shelter. Modern day times, yes, electricity and telephones and cable is, a lot of people think, are essential. No, they're not. No, you're not. No. Because if you're like most people, or maybe I'm slightly exceptional, books, they're great for education, but they're not really AKA essential. Not according to nature. Yes, if for some reason cable TV or the internet system, internet systems, cable TV, things like that, were to shut down, but the electricity was still on, so you had light and your stove to cook, you have books to read, you got a house to maintain, children to entertain, and there's all kinds of ways to entertain children other than books, even though books would be great because, you're educating the kids. But it's not a true essential. I've said it once, I'll say it again. If for some reason we get thrown back into the Stone Age, not exactly the Stone Age, but back into the pre-industrial era, the only thing I'd have problems with, I don't know how to hunt, I don't know how to skin, I don't know how to gut my own animal to get the meat off the animal for food. Yeah, for a while I might be a little down and depressed because I can't play my game. I got my books. I got, I'm gonna say about a shelf to 3/4 of a shelf of a bunch of books I have not gotten to read yet because I've been so busy with other things. But the shutdown that Biden's talking about is basically travel. No incoming or outgoing travel. Basically closing our borders off to everybody. Now I know that would be difficult because there are still those south of the border, don't know why right now, that still want to come to America. We're no better off than you guys are down south. Literally. We have our corona issues that are on the rise, and it's probably going to be what causes the rest of the world to go on the rise, which it is. Some people are calling it the second wave. I didn't even know we had a first wave. I thought it was the same thing. Still, it's just numbers are changing. But the thing is, as a lot of people have said, why would you want to vote for a man who has allowed over... I'm trying to get my numbers right, so give me a second. Is it 200 million? No. Not 200 million. No. 250,000 or more deaths in America alone. I'm sorry. You want a president who allowed that many people to die from a virus that could have been slowed, if not contained, if we had done what the CDC suggested, not just the CDC, but the CDC and his own medical advisors within the White House, who told him to do a nationwide shutdown and mandatory mask wearing ruling. No, he didn't. Now, I can understand he left it up to the individual state governors, but do you realize that 9 times out of 10, most states' governors look to their president for rules, regulations, and what to do? Now, I understand it is up to each individual state to make certain decisions that is best for that state. But under a nationwide, if not global pandemic, and the president does not make a decision on something that affects the whole nation, not just an individual state, yeah. Now, I can understand that there are a bunch of people out there who are, I'm going to say, gun-toting idiots, are worried or upset that one of the things that Biden wants to do is make harder or stronger, more tight gun control. I'm for that. I'm not a big fanatic of guns. I'm happy with my swords, blunted weapons, edged weapons. Why do we need weapons that do not shoot more than one bullet at a time? Hunting rifle. Most hunting rifles are not automatic weapons. Why do we individual citizens need automatic weapons? Scotland, or was it Ireland? One of those two countries had one death via a privately owned gun. They tightened their gun controls. You can't have anything more than a hunting weapon, and even that you have to go through a lot of paperwork and a lot of whatever just to have a hunting weapon. But there was another country, was it Ireland? It was either Ireland or Scotland that had the same issue. Somebody died due to a homicide, not a hunting accident. It was ruled a homicide because the death happened in a town, not out in the country where people go hunting. Guess what? Nobody's allowed to have a gun. In fact, nobody's allowed to have a gun in most of Europe, except for hunters and the special police forces. There's no armed response unless it's a terrorist issue or something that has to have their special response forces, and then they have guns. But the average police officer does not carry a gun. There's no need for it. And I believe the same thing here in America. There is no need for everybody to have a gun. Okay, I can understand there are gun collectors out there, and most of those gun collectors have the guns, but not the ammo. So, I mean, here in America, if we're going to allow people to have guns, okay, first off, they need to go through a buttload of paperwork. Then they need to go through before they can get their gun, a buttload of training for how to handle a gun, how to clean a gun, proper storage away from children. Because that's what's happened a lot of times is somebody does not store their gun properly and a child finds it and somebody ends up dead. Accidental, I can understand because the gun was improperly stored and the child either shot themselves, shot their friend, somebody got shot. The second thing I would do is once you're registered to carry, and all guns should be carried out in the open, there should be no concealed weaponry. That right there is for as I'm concerned, is why do you need to hide your gun? You got a gun, wear it. If you're gonna wear it, don't wear it under your clothes. Don't wear it someplace nobody can see it. Is basically the government keeps an eye on the gun owners, and then for the gun owner to basically purchase ammo, they have to show a special card that gets scanned and it registers on the government database so they know how much ammo you're buying. Because if you buy more than one box of ammo in a month's time, that right there, flies a big red flag of what is this guy doing? Or not a red flag, but a yellow flag. Because like if you're buying that much ammo, you're either using it too much or, oh, let's say you buy the ammo because you're going to the range, the shooting range. That's fine. You take your ammo, you go to the shooting range, you scan your card. They know you. Okay, he's using the ammo at the hunting range or the shooting range. Now I know that some people can go scan the card, maybe shoot off one round and take the rest of the rounds back to their home, but still, we have to have some sort of better gun control. I'm not saying that you can't have a gun, but if you're going to have a gun that shoots rapidly, why do you need an AR-14? Why do you need a fully or semi-automatic handguns? Yeah, that kind of borders on my not a necessity type thing. I mean, okay, I can understand you buy yourself you get yourself an old-fashioned 6-shooter. That means you only got 6 rounds. If you're using a gun for home protection or personal protection, that's okay. Get yourself a dog. Dog is a better. Most people, when they hear a dog barking, especially if it sounds like a big dog, they're not gonna want to be in your home, uninvited. Me, I live out in the country. Well, not really out in the country. I live out in the rural. I live in a small college town out in the country. I've accidentally left my doors unlocked when I go to bed, but I'm a light sleeper. First off, second off, if you're that desperate to break in my house for my possessions, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you because I can call the cops. I can identify everything in my home and then go replace it once I get the insurance money, or if the cops, because cops out here are pretty diligent, get my stuff back from the cops. But you break in my house just for shits and giggles, just for shits and giggles, I'm probably going to beat the crap out of you. I mean, there's multiple ways of detaining or incapacitating a person. That, in fact, this is my house. I know practically every square inch of my house. I know entry points and exit points, and the easiest entry point in my house is in my living room. But still, you got to break through that glass door. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hear that. That, in fact, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hear the door opening because it makes a lot of noise. Now, the only 2 people I'm gonna be worried about in this house is my wife and my mom. And I guarantee you try to hurt any one of those, you're gonna see the meaning of a berserker. Because I won't hesitate. I've already proven to myself a couple times when I get that adrenaline rush, that hardcore adrenaline rush, I don't feel pain because of what happened to me once in the past. And that was within my own family, and I became scared of myself because, in fact, I realized when I get that out of control, that much rage in me, there is very little that will stop me, not even my own family. Now, if I can focus that on somebody who's breaking into my house to protect my family, yeah. Let's just say the police report will be like, we came to such and such an address and found a body on the ground with very little to no face left. I don't like myself when I get into that kind of a blind rage, but now that I know what I know about my ancestry and who my ancestors were and about the Berserkers, and their blind rage when they get into a blind rage. And the reason why most Vikings on the battlefield, when those people go into rage, fall back, because when they get into that blind rage, they go after anything and everything. And if you think I'm talking out of my butt, look it up. Look it up. In fact, I'm gonna take my glasses off. Where is that book? Where is that book? Well, the other book is out in the living room, but the first book I'm talking about is called Norse Mythology, and the second book I'm talking about is this one right here. It describes the Berserkers in detail. But anyhow, I gotta get off this because I gotta start getting myself some food and getting ready. I've got an hour before I have to be at work. If you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the question and comment box. There's a button floating around for subscribe. You can subscribe if you want to, and then a little bell will pop up, and you can click on that, and then YouTube will let you know when I put in a new video. Until next time, have a good day. Enjoy. Bye.